What up, guys? It's Stitches. It's going on close to 10 o'clock here. I'm just now getting off of work. I've been working anywhere between 15 and 18 hour days for quite a while now. So there's a very, very high possibility that I will be getting a Microtech SOCOM Elite or at least a ZT in my near future. I've held both of them, but I've never owned one. So it'll be, my buddy who's selling it to me, we were just talking about how addictive it is when you're just sitting down watching TV and shit. And, you know, you're flipping your knife, open and close, open and close, open and close. And, you know, when people are trying to talk to you and you're just sitting there on your porch smoking a cigarette, you're just flipping your knife, open and close, open and close. We were just talking about that, but anyway, he's trying to buy a Medford Praetorian despite what I've told him. But he really likes the knife, man, so, you know, I mean, if he's happy with it, then that's his choice. But, this is just kind of an update video. I have not disappeared. For those of you who are from my previous channel, I had about 400 videos or so over the course of 3 years. And basically, what ended up getting it shut down was Joshua Jeffrey Thurman, who lives at 24 Clyde Court in Hebron, Ohio. 614-531-6998. There's a lot more to the story than that. If you look at my previous video, Why I Hate My Brother, it'll explain why I hate my brother. And you're like, oh, well, that's just sibling rivalry. No, you need to actually watch that fucking video. It's a lot different than that. But, so, I'm not going to tell you what I did, but, well, actually it doesn't matter. Well, it does, because there's self-incrimination, which doesn't matter. But, basically, I basically called my brother a bitch in front of the entire planet, and he didn't like that, so he got my channel shut down. And the way I went about it was challenging him to a game of Russian roulette, and of course he pussied out. He always does. But he's just a bitch. But the whole point of the thing is, you know, for 31 years, I've been told to let things roll off my shoulders, and it doesn't work. That does not work. For those of you who are stupid enough to listen to advice like that, I can promise you that you're going to spend the rest of your life being walked on. Because now that I'm actually acting out and returning some of the fucking wrong that he's done to me, my parents are literally begging me to stop. My last phone call with my dad, he disowned me. He said I'm not a part of the family anymore. Actually, he came up from Florida. I bought him sushi, the whole family. Bought him sushi. I took him out to this conservatory. It's got over 3,000 different species of plants. Paid for the whole thing. I gave my dad $300 that I had owed him for like 6 months. I just forgot to pay him back. I just forgot all about it. Normally when I owe people money, they're up my ass. You know what I mean? They don't just like walk away and don't say anything. So I honestly forgot about it, but I gave that back to him. Then he drives 5 states away and calls me up and tells me I ain't fam no more. Well, a couple days later, some things happen, and I'm working on returning some of the favors that my brother has done for me by treating me like shit for 4 years. And my mom calls me up, asks me how I'm doing. I said, oh, I'm doing great. I'm sitting outside smoking cigarettes, watching my next door neighbor mow the lawn. She's got huge tits. She's fucking, she looks like Peter Griffin in the face, but the rest of her body is amazing. So anyway, she's out mowing the lawn and her tits are bouncing up and down and shit, and I'm staring at her. I didn't tell my mom that, but I was just like, hey, I'm having a great day. So anyway, she started acting really fucking weird over the phone, and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, I just answered your question. What the hell's wrong with you? Are you drunk? Which, by the way, I haven't had a drink in 12 days. As we speak. So, she didn't answer my question, are you drunk? But the thing that she said to me was, I don't understand why you and your brother can't get along. And I said, well, he got my best friend addicted to heroin and she overdosed and died. And she's like, oh, well, she got herself addicted to heroin. And I said, Mom, I knew her for 7 years before Josh even ever met her. Like, she did not have an inclination whatsoever to even try heroin until she met my brother. And she's like, oh, well, that's just a bunch of shit. And I was like, okay, well, fuck you and fuck all your thoughts about that. But, and she's like, you didn't know Jess for that long. I said, Mom, we had an apartment together. And she said, no, you didn't. And I was like, you've lost your fucking mind. Yeah, we did have an apartment together. And she's like, no, you didn't. You lived with me the whole time. And I was like, Mom, you threw me out at 16. Like, she's lost her fucking mind. So anyway, I'll bring that up here in a second. So, on what I think, why my parents are so leaning towards my brother's side, which doesn't matter to me at all. But, so anyway, I was like, well, what about Chase? She's like, what about him? And I was like, he mentally abused him so bad that he's suicidal. And she's like, oh, well, that could be hereditary. And I was like, no, Mom, you have no idea how bad Josh treated Chase. And she's like, well, things happen. No, they don't. Not like that. So I was like, all right, I tell you what. She's like, why can't you leave Josh? Just leave him alone. And I said, okay, Mom, I'll leave him alone. And she said, okay, thank God. And I said, in 3.5 years when I'm done with him. So anyway, look at this jackass. Dipshit. So anyway, what I think, see, my dad was, he worked for NCR for 25 years. Yeah, 25 years. And he had his master's degree in business. The dude was loaded. Well, he developed, and this is my opinion on why they're taking Josh's side. He developed a gambling habit, and we ended up losing our house that we lived in. And then we lived in not a shack, but like a piece of shit house. So for 25 years, we were living in like anything above $500,000 up. And then we were pretty much in the poorhouse for the rest of our lives. So anyway, Josh gets out of prison, and he gets this job working for this guy named Brent. And he starts, he marries this fucking nasty chick named Tara. She was a bitch. I don't know what happened there. They got divorced. But, probably for the best. But, so, none of this is important. In my opinion, I think the only reason why my parents are taking my brother's side and why they're so brainwashed into believing that he's more than just a piece of shit, that he must be the golden piece of shit, I think it's because they're looking for financial security and who is going to take care of us when we get old. And with my brother out there, I'm not going to go into detail about how shady his business is just yet. That'll be for a later video. There's a lot of shady shit that he does that is fucked up. But, as for the future, what I'm going to wind up doing is, I'm going to get back into the knife scene. I'm probably going to get a ZT at minimum. The best I'm going to do is get a SOCOM Elite, if it's still for sale. The Bally battles that we used to do, those will continue. Unfortunately, for those of you who have participated in the past, once again, Joshua Jeffrey Thurman at 24 Clyde Court, Hebron, Ohio. Hebron. Yeah, that guy got my channel shut down. So, you know, if you have any anger about that, feel free to show up at his house and, you know, drown him in his own toilet or something. But the whole vengeance thing came about because I had so much anger bottled up that I didn't know who to take it out on. So I was asking my friends, hey, who's pissing you off? And I was taking it out on random people I'd never even met before. Well, one of the people who I had done that to had said, you know, instead of taking your anger out on people you don't even know, how about you figure out who it is that's pissed you off in your own life and go after them? And that really hit hard with me. So, I took their advice. I started taking it out on my brother, man. I mean, he's pretty much the only reason why I'm ever angry about anything. It's just the way he treats people. So, once I started taking my anger out on him, you know, I came to the realization that letting things roll off your shoulders makes you a bitch. Nobody learns anything. They will continue to walk over you. I've also learned never ask anybody for anything ever if you cannot acquire it yourself. Don't ask somebody for help. Don't ask them for a job. Don't ask them to help you figure out a math problem. Nothing. Because, well, you can with normal people. You can do shit like that. But with my brother, you can't. Because he writes it down in a journal and he looks down at you and treats you like a 2-year-old for the rest of your life. And I think that's what happened to Chase. I think Chase had a lot of questions in his life because he was raised by women. So when he went around asking his father for advice on things, his father just started treating him like a 2-year-old. Because that's what he does to everybody, because he's a piece of shit. So, when I started taking my anger out on Josh, I realized that I am in control. And I could fuck his entire life up if I play my cards right. And I know how to play those cards. So, I don't know. You know, everything that I do, I act on impulse. Because I have such a difficult time making up my mind about what I'm going to do that it'll never get done. So I wait for him to do stupid little things here and there, like brag about getting my YouTube channel shut down. And then I do things to cost him far, far fucking more. Tenfold any damages that he's done to me. So basically, the longer he continues to do that, the worse it's going to get on him. All he has to do is sit down and take it up the ass for 3.5 years. And if he can't do that, if he just can't do that, it's only going to get worse on him. I will find a way to fuck his life up. So, my, what I was getting at with my mom that I didn't mention was, she had told me, shut these lights off. She had told me that if it weren't for my brother, no, I was a nobody before I went up. How did she say it? She called me a nobody, which is interesting. But she called me that because she doesn't understand or comprehend. Money to her is money. It doesn't matter how it's received or how it's earned, even if it's earned in a very, very dirty fucking way. So that's all that really matters. And at the age of 31, I'm finally starting to realize I need to walk away from my whole fucking family. Because me and them are two very different people. That's just not who I am as a person. But anyway, guys, it's fucking late. I needed to post an update. It's been a while. We will continue to do Bally Battles. I just don't know when. I've got some big ass paychecks coming. So here probably within a month or two we'll be doing a fucking Bally Battle again. I don't really care how many subs I got. I'm just out here doing what I enjoy. So 20 years on down the line, if I die of fucking cancer or car wreck or something, and my brother's watching this and he gets my YouTube channel shut down, I want you to just remember his full name is Joshua Jeffrey Thurman. And feel free to go fuck him up for me. Alright, guys. Peace.